Alright, I'm going to do something a little different this time, typically than what I usually mess with whenever it comes to pilot edge. Actually, I'm not going to mess with pilot edge. I'm going to do a flight from, where am I, just east of Fairbanks, I forget the name of the airport. I want to put myself into a situation, engine failure, at a relatively decent altitude, and trying to land in Alaska. Let's see, what do we want to do with the weather, though? Let's put it... supposedly, the northern lights come up between 5 p.m. and 2 a.m. This is originally what I was going to mess with. And I flew around for a second and nothing popped up with the northern lights. So it's okay. We're going to get some good snow going on. Well, that's actually going to let me see the taxiways hardly. So I can at least see something. But make it a little bit of a challenge. Yeah, it looks good. There's precipitation. Hopefully maybe it'll give us some snow. That'd be pretty cool. Lightning, nah. Let's put it a little below freezing. I honestly don't know what IS is. That means sea level though. That's below freezing. Pressure. We should get scrolled down. That'd be cool. Distance. Precipitation, blah, blah, blah. Clouds. It doesn't look too terribly dense. At least where I can see the ground still. What else would I want to do? Let's give it a smidge of lighting. Every now and then, maybe. See if something comes up. Cloud, cloud, cloud. It's almost there's a little bit of clouds scattered up in there. Give it. Yeah, I like that. Cool. Okay. Let's see. That is. So these are two parallel runways. Wow, that was fucking bright. Let's see if we can unask that for a second. A little less. Seems a little exaggerated so far. I just want a little spark every now and then. So I can taxi over there to... I forget even the runway numbers. It's not even what I'm here for though, so... Let's get some light in here. Nope, let's give us a battery alternator. Put the mixture rich. And then throttle quarter open. Gas on. Okay, let's give it... prime it. No sound, but it looks like it's running. Oh, there it goes, okay. A smidge more throttle. What's my altitude right now? 500 feet. Yeah, we'll just leave it with rich. Hopefully I didn't overprime it. No, nothing. Let's hold that bitch. There it is. No need for radios. Throttle back. Strobe nav. It's gonna be cold, so PO heat on right off the bat. Fuck it. Begin. Taxi landing lights. So notice the oil temp gets a little weird on the 152 in this. It'll seem to cap off all the time, but I've never had any problems with any failures or anything, so tell the go back to clearance. Oh, okay, cool. He's not trying to fucking do a pushback, so we'll just leave him be. There. You know what? It's cold out, and I don't have the best heat gear, so we'll make it a little warm in here. Carb heat. We'll do a little bit of carb heat. Take back a performance, but book it. Park and brake off. Throttle up. Get ready for taxi. There you go. Now you're moving. I don't have the airport diagram up. I'm just going to kind of improvise the taxi, get a takeoff, and what I'm going to do, get high enough, I'm going to cut the mixture to kill the engines, and then Normally you try and do the engine startup procedure and then try to contact on emergency procedure 121.5. And then shut off anything that would cause the engine to... That is fucking bright. Alright, Alaska, calm the fuck down. Cut off anything like fuel pumps, set the mixture to lean, throttle to full to clear the engine of any fuel. And then, oh, now, of course, it's going to be all snow on this end. Oh, it's cleared up a little bit. It's about the same now. And then you would land the plane, and actually turn off all electronics too, which would be battery, alternator, lights, beacons, all that good stuff. And then land the plane and get the fuck out of it, and then report to the local officials. Tell them if you can contact them, tell them where you're at, and if anybody's injured, so on and so forth. They got this game actually working a lot smoother since recent updates too. Might start using my head tracker thing too, so I'm not using this mouse to look around. And make it easier on me, honestly. Makes it more interesting too, more realistic. Alright. I gotta lean for taxi, just for practice purposes. I believe it's the next taxi ramp. What is Alpha? Here's one more. If not, I mean, we're not following any PC rule or any kind of rules right now. But we'll do a takeoff and kind of do some half-ass sightseeing, get to a good altitude. Wow, that is fucking bright. Just go ahead and turn that bugger off. Ah, no, it led to the suspense. Fuck it. I just don't remember being that bright though whenever last time I flew the Storm over to, what was it, Hooks to Austin? Yeah, it was Hooks to Austin. But I believe I actually had mostly precision. Oh yeah, I had lightning too. I just don't remember it being that aggressive. Oh yeah, there's one more thing I want to try and do real quick. See if they got the sensitivity thing working. Option, let's see, that's our controls. Let's go to the yoke. Flight yoke, sensitivity. Hey, they fixed it, fuck yes. Oh yeah, I did actually turn this down, didn't I? That was the y-axis, x-axis, that's z-axis. Which one would be so? X, y. I do want to turn it down. Let's see what I have it set for the rudder, because last time the rudder was fucking tough. I can tell I got a little bit more smoother now. Landings will still be a little rough, but yep, sensitivity, that's right. 75%. Do that a bit more. Match it up with the rest. See how that works out. Done. And find save. Actually, we'll do this one. I don't know what the L axis. Z axis would be X, Y. What would the Z be on this damn control? You know what? Not important. Just set the rest of them down because they're just stupid touchy either way. I bet you it's the hat switches to change the view or move the view around. Get back. Cool, back at it. Cool, that should weasel us around there. We're going to be flying east. We have Fairbanks to the west of us, actually. And, I just feel like it'd make it a little too easy, I guess, having many roads and there's actually an airport there too, a large airport, which would give it away with the big flashing lights of where the runway lead-in is. Alpha, Alpha 7? Yep, Alpha 7, okay. I would hold short there typically, but you know what, that's all we're here for. We're here to fly a fucking plane. Without permissions, of course. Because we're too good for that. Oh my god, that was the runway. So the reason these two different textures are like that is because obviously things are always, for the most part, cold in Alaska. So they actually have heated runways. Not taxiways, obviously, but they do have heated runways. And alright, so there, mixture rich, throttle down. Brakes, okay. Flaps gun, there we go. Don't mind on Peter feet on that. Turn the taxi, landing lights on. Match the arrow to the compass, a little less than 6 degrees. Go. Make sure real quick. Go to the bathroom real fast. A bit later in the night. Had a few beers. Be back 1 second. Alright, I'm back. Here we are, ready for takeoff. Double check. Carb heat a little bit there. Mixture rich. Flaps up. Okay. Lights are good. Brake off, and away we go. Give it right rudder for torque. Airspeed alive. V1, rotate. Maintain 73. VY. Trim to relieve pressure. And because we don't have ATC and such, we're going to ignore any high MC conditions. So if we go through a cloud, we go through a cloud. Fuck it. Let's see what the OAT saying. There's just about 10 below 0. 10 Celsius, by the way. Increase the climb rate a little bit. I'm kind of going off the best climb rates for the Warrior, which are supposed to be pretty similar to the Cessna anyways. Cessna 172 at least. 132 has less horsepower, but it seems to be the same airframe design, which kind of implies it's the same same climb rate and such. Climb speeds, the VY speeds. So we're just gonna follow this heading for a bit. Doesn't even have to be specifically this heading, just that direction. Get myself kind of not near the airport, so I can't really use it as an option while gaining pretty good altitude. Then, so I've got some altitude, good amount of leeway, you know, just kind of mess around and find out what I want to do, because I don't fly Alaska. I'll kill the engine, see where we go with that. 2,000. Eventually this plane will stabilize that low and kind of help it out. Get that same climb rate. Kind of losing the mechanical turbulence now since we're getting some good altitude. Should pretty much be done tossing us around 3,000 feet. It's not too mountainous around here. We do hit some later on, but once you're high enough above them, you don't really got to worry too much. 76 for airspeed, so a little bit more climb. Goes down, let it stabilize. As you can see, even though it's 10 degrees below Celsius, the oil temp is still cranking up there. Mixture's rich, which what that would imply whenever it comes to actual temperatures is if you have a slightly richer mixture, you will actually have a cooler engine. The excess fuel that is not burned will actually cool the engine. Whenever I flew with Grant one time with that twin prop, Navajo down to practically Mexico, they actually run slightly richer than normal to keep their turbo intake temperature down, to preserve the engine, get some more hours out of it before they have to replace it. So yeah, if you go excessively lean, you can actually start getting overheating. I don't know if it's detonation or pre-ignition that starts to occur, but or it could be both. I'm not entirely sure. I have to review it again, which that is actually on the test too, so I should probably figure that one out. Alright, let's get a northern heading. Oh no, let's see, where's the city at? There's the highway. There's the runway. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and just head up this way. Fuck it. Okay, so we're starting to lose climb rate and gain airspeed, so use pitch to control airspeed. Throttle for altitude, but we have full throttle, so we're obviously going to pitch up a little bit to lower that airspeed to be wide. Pretty cool, actually. I have everything kind of freeze over. Actually, I'm kind of curious if it gets worse if we turn off that cabin. Let's see how bad we can get this window frozen over. Double check pitot heat's on. Yep. Let's get it stabilized. I'll actually show you. I said it last time. So that's the pitot. That's what tells you what your indicated airspeed is. Oh my God, where'd it go? There it is. Indicated airspeed is by the amount of air being pushed into a tiny hole in the front of it. There's a hole in the back too for any excess moisture to drain out of. That goes in, that comes around, and then shows us how fast we're going. So we may have a airspeed of, you know, right now almost 80, going up on 80, but if we have a headwind of 7 knots, we're actually going to be 7 knots slower as a ground speed. So compared to the ground below us, which would be like if you were to be racing a vehicle on the ground, or a car, that's what would indicate, or that's what the actual ground speed would be compared to this indicated. Alright, we're trying to get some altitude. We're actually 4,000. I should have. So to explain mixture, you can see it's at 2250 pretty much. As we're getting altitude, the fuel air mixture is going to change because the air gets thinner. Zoom out a little bit, make sure I got a good attitude. Yeah, we're good. Gonna run a little bit. I'm gonna see them both. So you can see it's about 2250 right now. So since we're gaining altitude, we need to lean the mixture to get a good fuel-air mixture or ratio. So I just lean back a little bit. You can see at the bottom, gaining RPM without changing the throttle. So you'll lean it until you kind of cap out at performance. Lean it, and then you'll see it drop. Leaning. Boom, there it goes. It drops a little bit. So you just add a little bit more mixture again, or richer mixture. And then that's where you keep it until you start getting more altitude. And you'll change it accordingly. So we're at 5,000. Say, I don't know, I'll just kind of randomly decide when I'll kill the engine. Just want to set a target altitude to give myself an idea for a time to when they start looking for a place to land. Just pay attention to instruments for now and drop it when I'm ready. Or drop it whenever I deem random enough for actually doing this. Now, usually what you do is you correct for this. This is a slip indicator. I'd be holding right rudder slightly. See if I can do it and get it centered. It's just my rudder pedals like to slip around from underneath me, unless I have them in a very uncomfortable spot. So, yeah, right rudder. It's called stepping on the ball, is what they call it when they're teaching you. Center that. There it goes. So that would be a coordinated plane. I'm being lazy about this, to be honest. I'm not really going to do that the whole time. We're not going to stall. We're going to climb at good speed. If we were to do a power on stall, so to rip it up as far as I can to the point to where I lose lift while holding full rudder one direction, that'll put us into a spin. But these planes are incredibly stable, so I really don't have to worry about making sure it's not gonna go into a spin or like any kind of issues in the sense of keeping it coordinated. I mean, for accuracy reasons, if you're flying an ILS approach or something, it would be important, or just good practice while you're in a plane. But in a plane, I'm able to rest my heel down on the ground and hold that rudder properly. With the rudder pedals I have for this plane is, I honestly don't think it's too terribly worth it. You know what? We're gonna go ahead and kill the engine now. So I need to pitch for 73, which is going to be the best glide slope. Trim for that. That's 70 there. Let's stabilize a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to start losing my attitude indicator because the vacuum pump isn't going to be working. Right now, all I have for the engine in the sense of what it could be doing for me is, right now the propeller is going to be windmilling. Okay. It's going to be windmilling. Let's see if I find a spot to land. We've got a lot of those that might be kind of hilly though. Highways, so what's about 600 feet per minute. We're at 6,000 and dropping. Okay, so I'm going to try and land on that highway right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line it up as if I'm going to be in pattern. So speed that, okay, cool, 76. Line it up as if I'm in pattern. The only reason I can tell there's even much of a trail there is obviously the tree clearings. Actually, I could probably make that over there. No, it's too far. So if I need to lose altitude, I can do what's called a forward slip. If it comes to it, I'll show you how it's done, but I want to save as much airspeed and altitude as I can right now. But a forward slip, what it will do is you do full rudder in one direction and then bank in the other. It'll actually point the plane to, say if I did right rudder, it'll point the plane to the right, and the left bank will counter it, and it'll fly it'll fly to the left slightly, like about 10-15 degrees, but be pointing to the right. So it'll look like it's flying to the right, but it's actually flying about 15 degrees to the left. And that'll give me aerodynamic braking, and so it'll slow my airspeed. So if I need to descend aggressively, it will allow me to descend at a good rate without gaining airspeed. So yeah, I'm gonna try and land there. What I'll do is, I wish I had my track IR going on right now because I could try and look around that post, but I'm gonna wait and find and see where the beginning of this straight run is, and then aim for a little bit beyond that and see if I can land on that little highway there, or main road, whatever it may be. And realistically, I'd want to aim more further out of town. If is there a jet near me? No, it's just thunder. Okay. Well, I'm not gonna be in here in the sky. So if I was gonna be in the sky for more than 30 minutes, I'd try and turn all this off. But for safety reasons, I would want to keep it all on. And I'd want to go to 121.5 and contact and saying so many miles from whatever this town is, or near the southwest of, let's see where I'm at, northeast. Yeah, southwest of this town here, attempting to land on the westbound blah 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 engine power outage, or sorry, engine failure, and then just focus on making sure I've got this thing lined up for a landing. So realistically, we would make sure mixture's lean, throttled full, turn off any fuel pumps. We would cut the fuel here. So leaving the throttle full, what that does still allows air to try and circulate through the engine while it's windmilling to push out any excess fuel or any fuel that may be remaining in the cylinders. So in the event of the crash, if anything were to happen where the fuel would ignite, there wouldn't be, obviously less fuel or the chance of more fuel even igniting from the get-go. So mixture rich. Sure, let's get some heat here because it's fucking frigid and I'm panicking right now because I might die. So I do have a lot of altitude right now. Once I get closer and know that I'm going to be hitting that highway at the proper angle, I will probably have to do a forward slip into landing. That'll bleed the airspeed. Let's go ahead and actually we'll bring the flaps down 2 notches. Bleed some airspeed too. Come on now, where's that hotkey? There we go. It's going to give more lift, but it's also going to give more drag and slow us down. So I can pitch down a bit more aggressively for, you know what, let's go ahead and do that forward slip. So that'd be full left rudder, right aileron. See if I can get this bugger stabilized. There we go. So we're actually flying toward the road right now, even though it's pointed this way. So I'm trying to give myself a bit more of a straighter landing. You see I've got full left rudder right now. Okay. That should be good. Pull myself out of the slip. What's my airspeed at? We're at 80. Okay. Good for a stable approach. Ignore the cars because... Oh yeah, landing light on. Oh shit, taxi lights. Full brake, full brake. And there it is. Yeah. Sweet. I didn't think it actually let me, or it actually did this shit. Let's see, cool, okay. I figured it would, still keep me in the game. Last time it did. Cool. I don't know if that counts as something as a completed flight or a engine failure. Alright, let's see. Takeoffs. One landing at night. Not one takeoff. Fair enough. Sweet. Alright, well, I figured I'd get a little change of... Oh, there we go. Yeah, let's let this go. I was going to put the parking brake on. There we go. Okay, kill the engine. Let's do PPV nav. Taxi landing lights off. No bears out there? Okay, yeah, we're good. Fuel's off. Mixture's already lean. Throttle all the way down. And battery alternator. Welcome to the wilderness of... They got owls going off and shit right now. Oh yeah, flaps up. Oops. I won't go back up unless the power's on, but... Sweet. Alright, well that's it.